I don't know if anyone can hear us, but we have no sound. If anyone at Unity of London can hear us on Zoom have no sound.
There's no sound?
No, we haven't been hearing anything for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but are they fixing it or they're not? It's gonna be like this all day.
It's a very good question. I don't know. Who are you?
I haven't been able to hear anything, no.
Does anybody have the contact for the person who does the tech? Just wondering if there's someone we can call.
I just
Sorry?
Anna, you're muted.
I have a contact, but it's by email.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that may take a while for them to check.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have the number.
Why
I had somebody else.
or she
We'll
won't,
see if we have Pauline's number. 1 second.
but she's
There it is.
He's got it. Let's see if the chat.
There we go.
Let's see what the chat people say.
All the good things in my life. Spirit's love protects me and sustains me.
Okay, you can take it out.
Is it fixed, do you think?
Okay, go ahead.
Life is often rough. The going can get tough. There are days when everything seems wrong. If I was on my own, I don't know if I'd keep going, but I'm not, and I do, and here's why. Oh, I have my Holy Spirit. All the good things in my life. Spirit's love protects me and sustains me, carrying me through the toil and strife. Things aren't looking good, and it seems the worst that could is happening and weighing down on me. When my strength is not enough and life just seems too tough, I remember what the truth is and I say, oh, I have my own Spirit. All the good things in my life. Spirit's love protects me and sustains me, carries me through the toil and strife. Sing that with me. All I have my own Spirit. All I have my own Spirit. All the good things in my life. All the good things in my life. Spirit's love protects me. Spirit's love protects me and sustains me, carrying me through the toil and strife. Oh, Spirit carries me through the toil
Pardon?
and strife.
Everything okay now?
So far. Next thing is I'm going to have to get the speaker on screen.
Wheels hardly fell off at all.
I think Jim should have showers every single day and create every single day. Jim, that was fabulous. And Jim has talked a lot about creating a video and sending it to Unity of Canada, or even Unity.
We are sharing. Did you unshare?
And he keeps saying, oh, sometime Pauline. So I'm doing this right now on purpose. Rev Thomas is on the board of Unity Canada. He's also a musician. And I hope he was as impressed with that song as I was. Personally, what a powerful song.
Okay, where's my
Spirit sustains me.
Zoom people?
Thank you so much, Jim. We now come to the part of our
Okay,
service
I need your help.
where we talk about prayer. Core
No.
of our being.
Where?
And we have
What do you want?
I'm looking for my Zoom
here, a
people.
beautifully carved wooden chest
Help me.
that holds your intentions. And as
Where?
you know, you only need to
Oh,
put
there.
the name of the person that you are holding in prayer, affirming in your mind their good and their well-being. And that is cleared every week by our dear Dawn, one of our prayer chaplains, who sends it out to our fellow prayer
Tell me what to
chaplains.
do.
We pray,
Show meeting?
and it's sent on to Silent
Yeah.
Unity. That's been working for more than 130 years. And their link is on the screen in front of you, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. And today, we will be going
Right.
into prayer
Next
in a
slide.
moment.
Next slide. Next slide.
Okay.
So I invite you just to recognize that Nancy is our prayer chaplain today. She's wearing the prayer stool. And if you approach her in the fellowship room, she'll be happy to pray with you in our beautifully
I'm gonna spotlight him.
redecorated front room.
No, well, I can't.
And
I
we'll
want to make
be
him
praying with you online. If
co-host.
you want to do that, just press
Yeah.
chat and you'll be connected.
Yeah.
I invite you now to go into that silent, still place,
Damn.
that place of inner peace and harmony. To close your eyes if you feel willing, or lower your gaze. To feel yourself grounded in the spiritual strength we talked about, that empowering strength. And to feel within you the flow of prayer, affirming that all is well with you. We hold in prayer today any of our Unity of London
If I
members,
take the audio off, they won't hear.
anyone throughout the world
Okay.
who feels in need of greater inner strength, and that's probably every single human being. We affirm our capacity to go inward. We hold in prayer all of our members of Unity, and especially the Unity Church in Calgary.
If we do this,
Unity leaders throughout the world who do their best, but who could do
That's
nothing
nothing.
without their
there's nothing wrong
communities.
with that.
I invite you to take a moment to whisper silently the names of those close to your hearts.
Already.
myself by invoking my innate qualities of strength and power. They give me the determination to keep going, to stay the course. I can use my body and mind to accomplish what I set out to do, but I also know there is more to me than that. The attributes of God are mine to use. I believe in myself and move forward with determination. And from 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 8, so deeply do we care for you that we are determined to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also our own selves, because you have become very dear to us. Now, it's my pleasure this morning to say that our guest speaker is Reverend Thomas DeSchutter. He is a spiritual leader at Unity Vancouver Island and is on the board of Unity Canada. He has a Bloom for Life coaching link at thomasdeschutter.com. Building on his work with the Unity 12 Powers, Reverend Thomas explores strength to love as an inner spiritual capacity. It's not about pushing through life, but about staying open, grounded, and loving in the midst of challenge. Please join me in a Unity of London welcome for Rev. Thomas DeSchutter.
Good morning. So I want to ensure everybody can hear me. Is that yes?
Got him.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
Him over here. We've got to stop screen sharing. Yes, yes.
Okay. I just know there's been a couple of tech glitches this morning, so I just want to make sure we're all set up and good to go at the center. Is that correct? All right. Well, welcome. It's my great pleasure to be here again with you. Thank you very much for inviting me back. I'm out on the West Coast, so it's a little bit earlier here. It's just about 8 o'clock.
I can't get it.
And I think I'll start with something from Charles Fillmore, one of our co-founders, is that he referred to order or divine order as the divine pattern through which all creation comes into harmonious expression. So from Fillmore's perspective, he referred to order as the first law of the universe, in that the universe unfolds in perfect order. So how you could look at that is that there's nothing wrong with the way things are going in terms of the perfection, the divine perfection of the universe. And even though we might be seeing things and looking at things and having our attention or our minds turn to things that seem challenging, seem wrong, we have opinions about it, we have judgments about it, we want to, yell back at people or any of those emotions that send us into that idea of fight or flight. If we could stand back, and I like to think of Michael Singer's example in The Untethered Soul, where you stand back from yourself and become the observer, and you see yourself and how you're responding, how you're perceiving things, and you begin to ask queries about your own place of being, your own ideas, instead of what's happening in the outside world. We turn that reflection inwards and start to see where we are within ourselves. Where are we standing? And what I find right now, this being the month of February, where we, in our Unity 12 powers, we align a power to each month. February is the month of strength. And so that area of strength, which is in our lower back, is where it resides. It's not about brute force. It's actually about inner resilience. It's about our spiritual stability. And so that strength is always present within us. And we can consciously call on that strength to support us in our will, in our understanding, and especially in our capacity to love.
Who the abductor is in the Nancy Guthrie.
That grace of love that we can have. And love, again, in Fillmore's language, is the great harmonizer. It's the great, you can think of love as the great equalizer. So when we can come from a place of love, we already stand a better chance of managing whatever is happening around us. And so it's upon us individually, especially as students of unity, to understand, and that's another one of our 12 powers is understanding, but to understand that we have the power, the ability, we have the strength, the resilience to actually call upon something deeper within ourselves so that we can be a light in the world. So when I see what's happening in the world around us, we can choose to see all of the things that aren't working, all of the things that, we could call a problem and feel like we need to go out and fight it. And we can also look around and see, well, where is the love? Where is the beauty? So what I'm really talking about here is if we think of making a stand in the world, and I'll quote Martin Luther King Jr. here, who said that real power is using strength to uplift others and build a just world. And if we think about the monks that are walking across America right now, whether it's snow or rain or sun, they are making a stand for something, and they're doing it in a fashion that is about love, that is about presence, that is about being and leading others through an example of what peace and harmony and love could look like. And that requires strength. It requires strength for us to make a stand on something that brings light into the world. So love, you could think of love having that strength to show love. It's selfless. It's a harmonizing force. It heals and actually restores divine order. So in terms of order, I'm not sure if you're all familiar with Thomas Campbell, the physicist, and he's the author of The Theory of Everything. My Big Toe is the work that he's done. So My Big Theory of Everything. And so if we think of a world of chaos, he refers to that as entropy, right? Where things are chaotic. And what actually brings order to that is love. So when the back of everything, you could think of it this way, the back of everything is consciousness. And consciousness is the awareness to choose. Right? So we have that ability. Each one of us, each human on this planet has the ability to choose. And so when we're making a stand for something, we can choose how we're going to do that. We can choose what we're going to see in the world. We can choose what we're going to celebrate in the world. And if we think of it in terms of energy, does everybody have that feeling that when I give something energy, when I put my attention on something, I give it more energy? It's like if I'm going to walk around and talk to people about all the things that aren't working in the world, and what am I doing? Am I giving that more energy now? Am I actually creating that in the mind of somebody else, whoever might be listening to me? And so I see it as our choice to make sure that within ourselves, first of all, within ourselves, we are speaking and thinking within ourselves of the love that we want to see in the world, the peace that we want to see in the world. And again, if we go to our 12 powers, one of our powers is power, which is the ability to speak truth into the world. It's our voice, our words, they have power. And so wherever we are, whatever we're doing, if we want to see more of something in the world, then we need to be speaking that. We need to be a stand for that. this idea in unity of demonstration. Well, we need to be that demonstration of what we want to see. And if we're not demonstrating what we want to see, but we're demonstrating the very things that we don't want to see, what are we giving energy to? What are we lowering our frequency to when we're doing that? So going back to Thomas Campbell's example of creating order, he refers to it as, we are one consciousness, which is, very much what unity teaches, that there's one divine mind, there's one consciousness. So the more that we can bring our attention into oneness, into creating love and harmony, we actually get rid of the entropy. We actually bring down the level of chaos. So you can think of it in terms of if everybody's fighting just for themselves and what they want and arguing for their position, there's no congruency. There's no togetherness. There's actually chaos. Think of it as a whole bunch of cells, in a petri dish running around all screaming at the top of their lungs that they're right in some capacity, that their way is the right way, that they have the right judgment, they have the right story. So now nobody's working together. So then you have chaos. And what is required is actually for us to be listening out there, for us to not be in the place of judgment, for us to be, and if I think of the monks, there's a presence, like when you see their videos, there is a presence and a stand within them that enlivens people. Look at the crowds that show up to see them, because they're a stand for something that people want to see more of. And so that becomes our role in my mind. If that's what we want to see in the world, then that's what we have to carry. We have to bring that forward. So it's really about balancing this tough-mindedness with some tough or some tender-heartedness. So, strength without love. So if we're standing for truth in some way and we have this strength and this resilience, if we don't bring love into it, it becomes rigid. It becomes ineffective. If there's not enough strength behind that love, it actually becomes ineffective. So there's like this balancing going on of being strong in our position, being strong in our desire for love and peace, but not being so rigid that we need to be right about something, that we need to stop listening, that we need to be shouting louder than somebody else. So the spiritual work is to really blend our courage and our compassion while remaining open-hearted to others. When I think of the conflicts or the challenges that I have faced in my life, and I know I'll face more, there's always ways of being and ideas within ministry I'm finding that want to challenge me. And the greatest challenge that I always seem to be facing is, have I opened up my heart enough? Have I stood in silence enough without judgment or without my own opinion to listen, to give somebody else space to be heard? Now, it doesn't mean that I will agree with them necessarily. It doesn't mean that I have to be standing with them on their position, but I can be present enough to hear them, to let them know that, hey, I've heard you. Play it back to them, make sure they understood that I heard them, and be somebody that at least gave them the feeling that they had been heard. Now, again, it doesn't mean that I necessarily mean that I'll agree with them, but it's not about agreeing. It's actually about listening. There's that old adage, we got 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So we probably have to listen twice as much as we need to be speaking. And so in that position, we actually have more of a chance of making a difference in the world when somebody feels like they've been heard. So just think of it this way. When you're in an argument with somebody, I'm sure we've all had that. We've all experienced arguments with other people. If both people are just, yelling back and forth at each other with nobody listening, is anything moving forward in a powerful way? It always takes one person to stop the action and say, hey, I just want to make sure I understood what you had to say. Right? That's like a great icebreaker right there, to make sure that we understood what they had to say. Because most people, have you ever had those moments where somebody just keeps saying the same thing over and over again to you? Like you never heard them the first time? That is generally an example of they don't feel like they've been heard. So the listener never got what they were saying. And so they repeat themselves, and they might repeat themselves in 3 or 4 different ways, trying to say the same thing. And we haven't heard them. And this is something I equate to opening my heart up to be in a position where I'm not trying to make my point. I'm actually trying to listen to what they have to say. I am being compassionate in that moment. I'm opening myself up to where they're standing. And again, it doesn't mean I have to agree with them. It doesn't mean I have to support their cause. It simply means that I am being an open human being. I am open to that level of conversation. So this is what I would think of as living in oneness, becoming a force for good. And it sounds like a really nice slogan, but it's really about the capacity to see the divine, that same divinity that I feel for myself. It's about seeing that in others. Every Sunday we light the Christ candle at our Unity Center, and when it's me that's doing that, I pretty much say the same thing every time, and that's that, we light this Christ candle to honor the Christ consciousness, that loving consciousness within each one of us. And what goes along with that is it's incumbent upon me to now see that Christ candle in everybody else, even when they might have opinions and ways of being that upset me, that challenge me. That if I can come back to knowing that that same divinity that is within me is within them, that's a starting place. That's a place for me to soften. That's a place for me to put a smile on my face and to stand in whatever is happening with that strength of love within me, that ability to be open, to be loving, to be compassionate. It's not about being a pushover, which some might think is what I'm trying to say. It's not that at all. There's great strength in love. And there can also be great love in that strength. So you might want to call things injustice, right? We see a lot of injustice in the world. Well, injustice anywhere, including within our own thoughts and small actions, is a threat to justice everywhere. So by letting divine love and strength guide our actions, guide our thoughts, we become agents of positive change. We are now shining our light in a way that gives others permission to shine theirs. Doesn't it feel great when you see somebody who is lit up by life? They have an energy, a presence to them that you just go like, wow. You feel good around them. Well, let's be that. Let's be that person. We all have that capacity. At some point we were all little kids running around on a playground somewhere, just living life freely, completely oblivious to all the noise that's out there. And then somehow when we, become adults, we think we need to take all of this stuff on. And actually we don't. What we need to do is remember who we are. Remember that we are that love. We are that light. We are that peace. And then have enough strength to stand in that, regardless of what we might be seeing around us. So really what we're asking of ourselves is to draw on inner spiritual strength, to create divine order within ourselves. And we do that by creating harmony within ourselves, within our thoughts, our deeds, our actions, our words we speak, the words we speak to ourselves. All of those things become the foundational strength of what we could be as a light for others. I'll share with you, just in case you were wondering, it wasn't my plan at any point to become a minister till all of a sudden it was. And I don't know where it came from, but I have a sneaky suspicion that some of it might have come from a mantra that I had created for myself in around 2012. And some of the words in that I would say every morning to myself was, I am happy and healthy. I am spiritual. And I didn't even know what that meant for me back then, because I was not, in my mind, a spiritual person. I did not attend any spirituality, anything. I didn't read about spirituality. There was nothing in my world that looked like that spiritual thing. I mean, the closest I probably came at that point to spirituality was Star Wars, the Dark Force or the Jedi, right? And I was like, I choose the good side. That's what I choose. And that's probably about as much spirituality as I had in my life. But I think somehow saying that to myself every morning, speaking in that, began to raise that consciousness within myself, or that vibration, or that frequency, or energy, however you want to phrase it. And so when I look back and I see what I was doing in my life to give myself a better place to stand in my life than the person I was at that time, it's not a shock to me that I ended up becoming a minister then, because I can see that I was doing something within myself every day, speaking words of of that desire to be spiritual. And somehow it landed, I remember when I was in seminary, I had to do a a project on Charles and Myrtle Fillmore's writing and use of the Holy Spirit, and where they used it in all of their books, and their ideas around the Holy Spirit. And I think between that and A Course in Miracles, which I have read, there's this idea that no matter how far removed we might be from our spiritualness and our peace and our love, the Holy Spirit, you can think of it in this way, that energy, that frequency of oneness is always standing by and ready to enter as soon as there's an opening. The slightest opening that we give to that oneness, to that spirit, as soon as we give it, it floods in. So you could say that in a way I was a stand against anything like that. There was a slight presence for me, but it wasn't open until I started to open the door. And as soon as I did, it showed up. And that law of attraction is like what we think about, we start to see more of in the world. Like you want to buy a new car, right? And suddenly you see them everywhere when you're driving around. Well, it's not like they all just moved to your city. They were always there. You just weren't tuned into it. This is that same kind of energy that as soon as we open up our minds to seeing something, intention, you might call it intent, as soon as we open ourselves up to that, we will see more of it in the world. So if you find yourself thinking the world is doomed and it's all going to go bad and it's all wrong, I invite you to start looking for the love in the world. Look at right here where we are, right? Just look in the room you're in, or if you're on Zoom and you can see the people here on Zoom, this is love. This is presence. This is oneness right in front of us. You know, we can see it right here and we can celebrate it. And so let's turn our attention to celebrating that and honoring that instead of the headlines in the newspapers and on the news on television. As a matter of fact, turn it off. I almost listen to no news. You know, I'm a investment advisor in the daytime, so I listen to business news, but I don't watch news on television. I don't get the newspaper. I don't read any of that stuff. I figure if I really need to know, somebody will tell me. I'll hear it. You know, I'll hear it at, you know, when I'm out in the public circles. Otherwise, I don't want it in my life. I want to focus on the love and the peace and the harmony, not only for myself, but that I can bring into the world by being a stand for that. And so with that in mind, I'm not sure if we go right into meditation here or if there's a song that's played.
We do go into meditation right now.
Awesome. Then let's do that. Let's take a few moments here together, if you would. If you'll join me, we can spend some time. I'll even give us a little.
It's not necessary. We'll just leave him on.
Oh, it didn't go through.
Not share the screen.
So if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. And if that's not comfortable, then what I invite you to do is find a spot on the ground or a wall or a chair in front of you, wherever you are. Just allow yourself to soften your gaze. Bring your attention to one point where you can soften into this moment. And this is a call right now to invite yourself to bring your presence to your breath. You know, that breath of life that has been with you since the moment you entered this beautiful space. And allow yourself to feel that breath as it moves in, expanding, and as you exhale, I invite you to bring in your power of imagination and to, with your power of imagination, bring your attention to your lower back, the area within our body where our power of strength resides. And just imagine right now this beautiful energy of strength supporting you, running through your body. Knowing that it is your support for you to cultivate within yourself peace, to cultivate love, to be a spiritual stand for truth. So allow yourself to bring your breath to that area, focusing each breath in, breathing in through your nose and feeling that air reach down to your lower back. And now I invite you to place a hand on your heart space. And if you can, feel your heart. And this is that place within us that is the great harmonizer. Allowing us to feel harmony, to bring harmony into the world. Combining our strength with our love, we bring order first within ourselves. Divine order resides within us. And just below our heart space is the area within us where order resides. You can think of it as order is between our strength and our love. So we'll take a few moments in silence together, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back. And as you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. You can let your hands down if they're not by your side already. And together we'll take a nice deep breath in on 3, 2, 1, and deep breath in. And let that go. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Rev Thomas. Trying to think of words to summarize the impact of Rev's presentation, and the word balance keeps coming into my mind. What a beautiful blend of balance, of listening and reading. Comforting, compassion, strength to listen to others, and to let everyone know that they are being heard. What a wonderful challenge. And we thank you very much, Rev Thomas, for sharing so candidly about your ministry experience, both before you became a minister and now. I'm sure that people here will take away a lot of lessons from your presentation. And now we welcome back Jim Chapman.
Okay, I gotta go ahead. And we've got switch to you. It's the back. Where's one?
Just trench it open. Trench it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's on this window.
I can't.
Yeah. When I first started performing at community as a musical in those days, I think it probably been almost 10 years ago. It's probably one. It's probably one. And one of the very first tunes that I brought, and I was looking, Jane had his repertoire, and I spoke to Gary from that, and he had a wonderful tribute to Jake last month, by the way, hope some of you heard of that. But I spoke to Gary, and he made some suggestions, and I'll break down and play some of those tunes. You know, that started really. But I wanted to do something really different, and so I started to look around for, what else can I do? Who else is out there? And again, my name on and people like that, and there's things as well. And I came across this song that was actually we had a hit record on the country and the podcast. I found some that somebody online, and they did it, but they had modified the words right now. And I just hate the words so much that I thought, well, I don't think anybody will mind it.
There's gotta be a way.
Yes, 70 years old now. And I did it. It was one of the very first things I'm not sure that I didn't teach them. I was going through my little my list this week, and there's that serendipity that I was talking about. I had this inspiration this morning for this song that talks about the blessed spirit and the strength of the spirit. They love and draw. And I think that's something I did. We gotta put this down. This is something being done. This all fits. It all comes together, and it fits with what we're talking about too. So I think there's a little metaphysics here.
We got the screen share.
And to me, the snow white dove represents spirit's blessing to us. That's how I read the song. That's how I was feeling the song. So if you think of it those times, it's not literal. It's about the spirit blessing us and blessing us straight out the end of the day.
The great thing.
All the windows of snow white dove. Here is pure, sweet love, a sight from above. Wings of a dove,
One more thing here.
which rolls the ground up. Eyes from comfort, our bodies glory, and our spirits grown down. of these things we set up. Here that doesn't forget us. Here above. Wings of the dove. On the wings of the snow. White dove. Spirit is pure. Sweet love. A sign from above. Wings of the dove.
Too far.
Though we change down our head.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you for a sec.
Just need to make this.
So now you can see all the people
I
too.
don't need to zoom.
Yeah, but you wanted to count them.
Yeah, yeah, fine.
All reasons why on the side of Feeling is worthy, even when we are weak. We harvest the same, even more than we see. We're lavish with kindness, we're surrounded by love, and scary precious easy on the wings of the dove. All the wings of the snow white, spirit is pure, sweet love, the sign of the love. Wings of the dove, all the wings of the snow white, spirit is pure, sweet love, sign from above. On the wings of the dove.
Well, thank you so much, Jim. What a lovely favorite and a spiritually uplifting song. We come to a time when we celebrate our abundance and we share that abundance with generosity. We also welcome not only the financial sharing, as two of our members carry one of the little purple bags, but your sharing of sound, time, and energy. Volunteering for Unity of London is an act of loving service. And right now, our kitchen needs some extra loving service. And if you want to know more details, I don't see Carol here, but you can come and speak to me after the service. And we all go into the fellowship room, we enjoy everything that's there. It doesn't appear and it isn't all cleaned up without the efforts of many people. And I know Jerry Elaine is right here, and she's always there early in the morning. We thank Nancy, who's been pitching her manager for a long time. And we thank Dawn, who's usually in there. And we thank the people who clean up after. We need to add even more volunteers. Even more, so just consider that. And right now, we join in a blessing for the offerings. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Today we have several announcements, and one of them is just a reminder that today is Celebration Sunday. Celebration Sunday is a chance for you to come up and offer something that you are happy about. That's it. Not a suffering, not a pain, something you are happy about. Not a proclamation, something you are rejoicing in. And it's also an opportunity for you to thank our speaker.
We're not finished yet.
So those are our main reasons for coming up following the service. Any other activities or engagements you want to engage in are best dealt with in the fellowship room face to face. And we also have a chance to engage with our people who might be online because of the weather. So that's the first announcement. The second one has to do with our weekday morning. It says meditation, but it's also prayer. So we pray and meditate together every morning at 9 o'clock throughout the week from Monday to Friday. And the new Zoom room is the same link as you used to get onto the Sunday service. So we invite you to use that Sunday service link and to join us. The next announcement has to do with our Sacred Circle. We're happy to see Chuck and Suzanne here. The Sacred Circle often attracts between 8, 10, even 12 or 13 people. And it's a wondrous chance for you to share your insights, your thoughts, your reflections, a little bit about the book that Chuck reads a little bit from. And everything that's shared in that Sacred Circle stays in the circle. And thanks to Chuck for initiating that. And that's been going for several Sundays now. The next announcement has to do with our Wednesday music nights led by Jim. $10 for a concert. That is a deal. And this Wednesday, he will be having Lynn Murray, Peter Cook, Lisa O'Reilly. And you can pay at the door or you can send an email to Jim. The next announcement has to do with a special afternoon concert for Valentine's Day. Invite a friend, invite your spouse, invite someone you know who might just want some uplifting. So that's February 14th from 2 to 3:15, only $10 at the door. And a little girl who sang, I don't know if some of you heard her the last time, very confident, very enthusiastic, loves to be on the stage, and she will be there. And the name is Anya. And before we read the Light of God, I invite anybody who's interested in uplifting the energy of our music service when Jim's not here to meet at the back of the room just right after the service, after you've shared. And now let us join in the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the light. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever we am, God is, and all is well. In that unity of London, we say, yea, God. And I want you to add, yea, me. Yea, me. And now we join in our circle.
Okay, so now we need to expand. There we go.
Anybody wants to go straight to fellowship to chat, that's okay. But we first, hopefully we can see those online if there's anybody online.
Stop the recording. Okay,
You wanna drag it?
I want to stop the recording. Where's my,
While we await that.
Help you?
yeah, where's my instructions for stopping the recording?
Oh, you wanna stop recording?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure.
Sure, that was amazing. That message was just perfect.
Right.
And I love sharing and being positive positive
Stop.
agent for change.
Yeah,
That's
the thing is
what it's all
gone.
about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Celebration Sunday today.
Gotta unmute people too.
1999, I was 50 years old and I had a series of heart attacks and was not expected to recover. And my doctor, after I
And
recovered, sort
I
of,
show.
my doctor's a very good friend of mine. He wrote for dinner one night and I said, I had asked this question before. I said, "What's my prognosis? Seriously, like seriously." And he
Okay,
said,
gotta bring this up.
He was a bit of a joke. But
Stop.
He was very face and said, "Why
Yes, right there,
anything
right here. That's right.
Now that was
Stop share.
27
And just stop.
years
just-
ago. On Tuesday, I celebrate my
Stop.
77th birthday and I'm still buying bananas.
So yes?
Yes.